Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
Motivations have changed. The workplace has changed. Where we work has changed. When I think about motivation, I think about some fundamental concepts. Think about somebody who is extrinsically motivated versus somebody who is intrinsically motivated. Someone who is extrinsically motivated is motivated by the next step, moving on to the next position, something more outside of their job. And then you're going to have people who absolutely just love their job and the things within their job, and they're motivated by things inside the job. Thus, they are intrinsically motivated. Then we have people who are either independently motivated or collaboratively motivated, meaning they like to work in teams. Haven't those things changed? Hasn't the crisis prompted people to look at things differently? I guarantee you're going to have people who have switched between intrinsically and extrinsically being motivated and vice versa. You might have an employee who wanted that next promotion, who wanted to be a manager or a people leader, now looking at the crisis and saying, you know what? I don't know if I want to have to lead through something like this, and that's okay. You might have some intrinsically people who have really stepped forward and found out they want to motivate other people. They want to work with other people. And again, I'm making this very simplistic in terms of, where they're motivated and, what the next promotion would be. Now think about people who are collaborative, who go home, they're not making the drive into work, they're saving gas money, they're saving time, they're getting more work done, they're getting interrupted less. They might start to feel like they're more independently motivated. And again, these are moving targets with our people. So what is a manager leader to do? It's the key. It's the difference between management and coaching. When we are managers and we're leading and commanding and demanding and telling, there's nothing wrong with those things. Yet in this case, we have to ask questions. Asking our employees, how do you feel? How has the crisis affected you? How has the crisis affected you in your career outlook? What does your career outlook look like? Another great question is, if you had to tell me tomorrow morning where you feel like you're the most productive and you want to work, would that be in the office? Would it be at home? Would it be a combination? What's your ideal situation? Motivation levels have changed, everybody. And it is incumbent upon us to find out how and why and where. I was talking to a leader the other day who was talking about one of their leaders who's always in the office setting, always leading, always helping, always influencing others. And he said she's really been pulled back. And I said, what do you mean? And he was saying it with this tone of disappointment. He said, I thought she would help out more during the crisis. And he said it with a little bit of salt and vinegar. And I said, you say that as if you're disappointed. He goes, I guess I am a little bit. And I said, do you mind if I share a thought with you? And again, one of the best things you can do when you're challenging somebody is ask to share a thought. And he said, sure. And I said, what if she's just scared? What if she just became paralyzed? What if she lost her traction as a leader because now she's remote And maybe she doesn't know how to lead or be influential from a remote location. And he immediately stopped. He said, wow, I haven't thought of that. And I said, I would do a check-in with her. I would sit down and say, so how are you feeling? What's new? Give me one word that best describes how you're feeling during this crisis. Assuming we get to a new normal and things get back to a level where things are maybe moving in a direction that we were used to before, what will your career outlook look like? What's your ideal place where you want to work and how you want to work? Again, I also go back to people have absolutely changed in terms of where they want to work. I recently heard that a group of CEOs in a study that I think it was 72% of CEOs were now considering a work at home policy. And this is a group of CEOs who had never would have allowed a work at home policy before the crisis. What people are finding out is people are very productive. The other thing is people really enjoy it. People are really enjoying not having to bundle up their kids or take them to daycare or go to the office in a 20, 30, 40-minute drive. And they're not getting interrupted as much. And I heard a really interesting concept from a company, and we're considering it a 6-hour workday. Because when you think about it, if you're driving a half an hour, parking your car, walking to your office, let's call it 30 minutes, including the drive. And that's probably, for a lot of us being kind, that's an hour each day. That does not include the prep time. And the other wonderful thing that's happening that's changing motivations is we're starting to humanize. We're seeing each other in our homes. And we're having casual, more authentic, transparent conversations. And so what's happening is people are coming in, they're getting to their work, and they're getting a lot of their work done. And one person said, I feel like I'm cheating the company. And I said, what happened? She said, I'm getting stuff done in 6 hours. And so what's happening is the way we work is dramatically changing. It is incumbent upon us to find out how people are feeling. Are they extrinsically versus intrinsically motivated? Do they want to work in teams or do they like working independently? And oh, by the way, do they like working in an office setting or do they like working remotely? Think about creating a sheet of your employees, a list of your employees, and go through a series of questions and check off what you think. Are they intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? Are they independently or collaboratively motivated? Are they motivated by working in the office or remotely? That will give you a good indication of how to work with your team, certainly assuming you're going to have a work at home policy. Remember, people have been dramatically changed by this crisis. The best way to find out how they're feeling is to sit down, ask questions, make a list, and really understand your new employees, because guaranteed, many of them have changed.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.